Said, tonight we're going to have a short conversation with young people who are leading the way in all efforts, education. And sometimes we as adults get so caught up in trying to create public policy about education and focus on young people that we forget to ask young people, what do you need? What do you want? How do we solve these problems? And so I think that it is ingenious of your leadership to bring young people from across the state to talk about what's going on in public education. We all know from the mouth of babes, right? We know that kids say the darndest things. In the greatest book that I've ever read, it says that a child will lead the way. And so to that extent, we have some young people from across the state. We want to give them a big, big rousing applause as they come on up. I'm going to introduce each one of them. Yo, come on up. All of my good young friends, my friends, come on up. I got a chance to meet them about 30 minutes ago. I think we have some walk-up music. Y'all come on in. We can do better than that. These are our young people. Yeah. Come on in. Pleasure. All right. All right. Look at that. There you go. All right, now we have a panel of young people. I have to say something about these young people, but before I do that, we have to give one more round of applause because behind every good young person, there are good parents. And so with the parents of these young people, please stand. Please stand, stand. I know that they're all around here. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Look at that. Moms, dads, aunts, uncles, we love it, we love it, we love it. Thank you all for being here. We certainly appreciate you being here. I'm going to quickly just talk maybe one sentence about each one of these young people because their bios and resumes are way too long and we'd be here much too long talking about that. So to the left, we have Samira Tababi. Did I get that right? She is a senior. Samira, I lost your school. You're at Freedom High School here in Orlando. And yeah, I love it. So we got some Orlando folks here. You got a cheering section. It's no fair. You're at home. All right? She was the 23-24 school year student body vice president on the Youth Advisory Board for Orange County, Commissioner, the National Honor Society and English National Honor Society, the Drama Club, the Theater Department for 8 years. Oh my gosh, she has done so many things. So thank you for being here. We appreciate that. All right. We're going to move. Caden, how are you, sir?
Great.
Fantastic. Caden is from Lake Buena Vista High School. And Caden, so we added a few people at the end. Caden is the band captain of his band. He wants to study business management in the future, would like to start his own business and help produce music. He's a talented musician. He's received superior ratings and excellent ratings at district and state festivals. He is a part of the first graduating class of Lake Buena Vista High School, and he is the founding member of the Multicultural Leadership Scholars. Let's give Mr. Caden a big round of applause. Next, we have Brady Graham from Boone High School. Boone High School. Brady is a junior. He was the development director of the Florida High School Democrats Executive Board and has increased statewide chapter registration by 200%, y'all. Math club officer. He has testified at a committee meeting in Tallahassee and met directly with lawmakers to advocate for Equality Florida and LGBTQ rights. He's a member of the National Honor Society and has been tapped for National Honor Society. He is in the Finance Magnet program. He's an AP scholar. This kid does everything. Let's give it up for Brady. Hope Adelson is from Boone High School as well. Hope is a junior. She is the principal violist. You hear that, Andrew? She's the violist. Did I say that right or wrong? She is the principal. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. She's the principal violist of Boone's Chamber Orchestra and serves as the co-vice president of the program. Look at you guys. Knew I was struggling here. Thank you. Look at that. These guys, the staff members here are fantastic, okay? Let's see. In the future, she hopes to study political science, government history, and music. She's a huge history enthusiast and enjoys any conversation involving niche facts. Whatever her career path, she knows she wants to help others and wants to see the world where kids can go to school safe, nurturing, and in an unpolarized environment. Let's give it up for Hope Adelson. Cameron, our friend Cameron, we all know Cameron. She is the president of the student FEA. Cameron, I'm going to find your paper here in a second. Are y'all laughing at me? Yes, they are. They're laughing at me. Cameron is, let's see, she is a substitute teacher at Leon. First of all, she attends Florida A&M University. She's a student athlete on the FAMU women's bowling team, member of the National Council of Negro Women, and a member of the NAACP chapter. And most importantly, Cameron is going to be an educator. Next, we have Miss, I'm getting this last, Marissa. Marissa, what's your last name?
Bellinger.
Bowser. They didn't put it on here.
Bellinger.
Bellinger.
Yeah.
Let's give it up for Marissa Bellinger. They did me in, Marissa. She is a student at UCF. Any Knights out there? Oh, that's a built-in crowd. I see it, yeah. Go Knights. I hear you. All right, go to Knights. She's a graduate student, and her research interests are Jim Crow and the civil rights movement. She is currently writing her thesis. Listen to this, y'all. She's currently writing her thesis on the Florida State Teachers Association and teacher pay equalization suits during the New Deal era and World War II period. Okay? Marissa hopes to continue her education with a PhD in history and have her career in academia. Let's give it up. Last but certainly not least, my friend, Nevia Sterling from Boone High School. Nevea Sterling. Excuse me. That's right. I told them backstage to straighten me on their name because people should call you what your parents named you, okay? So and if I get it wrong, y'all straighten me every time. Nevea Graham is a junior at Boone High School. No, she's not a junior at high school. You're a sophomore. Yes. She is a sophomore at Boone High School. She's a first-generation Haitian American. She is a member of Boone's varsity speech and debate team as a Lincoln Douglas debate winner. And she participates in the chess club and Young Democrats. In the future, she hopes to study international law and one day own her own law firm. All right, Esquire. We have an Esquire in the house. There are some good lawyers out there too, okay? Very good. All right, so listen, we're gonna just ask you all a couple questions, and these are superheroes out here. I think I told you that. But you all are the source of their power. You are the source of their power. They can only help you when you talk to us. Be transparent, be honest, be truthful about your experience, because far too many people talk about you and what's happening with you without asking you. And so we want to be that organization that says we talk directly to young people. And so I'm going to start with my good friend, Samara, on the end. And tell me something good about school, your public education experience. And I want you all each to take a minute. Tell me a favorite experience. Tell me a teacher. Tell me a class. Tell me something that went well for you. And we'll start there.
I would say that my favorite experience was my English teacher. Her name is Miss Yelm. She forms a very deep connection with her students. She teaches AP Lang and she also teaches seminar as well, and I took both of those classes. And she stays after school all the time. She stays after school till 7 p.m. My mom is also a teacher and she also stays after school all the time. And I just think forming those connections with your students in staying after school with them, whether it's just to talk to them or talk to them about an assignment or anything. It forms that connection with them, and I really love her for that.
Fantastic, fantastic. Kaden, I want you to take the same question. Tell me a good experience you've had.
Well, similar to Samara, there are a lot of teachers that I adore, and they've helped me so much, but I can't help to say Mr. Royal, who is here in the audience right now with me. He's helped me so much.
Hold on, Kaden. Where is Mr. Royal? We need to know who he is. Stand up.
Stand up, Mr. Royal. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you so much. I would just like to thank him for being there for me with middle school, as well as my high school journey as of now. He helped sponsor one of my founding clubs, Multicultural Leadership Scholars. And of course, I can't help but thank my band that helped me achieve here from ground day one. And we've won so many competitions, and I'm still going.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you. Brady?
Now, I would love to reiterate how amazing you all teachers are. My mom was a former teacher. She has taught me everything I know in my life. You guys have dedicated so much time to your students, and it's really admirable. But the thing that I most appreciate about public schools is how much effort that they put into harnessing our academic intellect and creating it into passion that we can make change later in our lives, going into our higher education and advocating for social issues across the country. So thank you, teachers, and thank you, public education.
All right. And thank you, Mommy. We appreciate you. Yay. Let's see. Hope.
Yes, so last year I took AP World History with Mr. Leatherwood at Boone High School, and he would let me nag him every single day before class and ask him random questions, history questions, literally anything, and they would turn into 40-minute discussions. And those discussions helped develop not only my critical thinking, but my social skills, my argumentative skills, just develop me as a person and my beliefs, and how tolerant I am and how accepting I am and how I can adapt to the world around me. I also want to give a shout out to my dad, who's a college professor at UCF, and I know how much he cares about his students, and that's just really inspiring to me and something I really look up to as someone whose lives has been immensely changed in the best way by teachers.
All right. Where's Dad, the college professor? Where is the college professor? Stand up, Dad. Stand up, Dad. What's up? I love it. Dad even got the UFF hat on and stuff, you know, like the professor guy. He scares the best out of you when he walks in class. I get it. I get it. Understood. Let's see. Cameron, so I want you to focus a little bit different because you're a college student, right? And so I want you to take a look backwards and tell me how your high school or your pre-K through 12 prepared you to be the college student that you are today.
So I'm going to say my third grade teacher, Miss Dent, she honestly prepared me for my college experience today because she was my first Black teacher. And to other people, maybe that may not seem significant, but that was very significant to me because I went to a very predominantly white school, so I did not see a lot of kids like me. So having her be that role model, mentor to me, she just really inspired me all the time. And she's honestly the reason I wanted to become a teacher. And so when I go to schools, go to Philly Experience, I think back to how she treated me in the classroom, and I try to model that to the students I interact with because I want to be that mentor to other little Black kids, and not just Black kids, students in general, and just being that person.
It's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for that. And so as members of FEA, I hope that you all are hearing solutions within the stories. These are not just stories. These are things that they're talking about that they have built upon that have been important to them. And so I want us to make sure that we build this narrative that they're talking about because we're going to try to expound upon that in just a few minutes. So Marissa, same question to you because you're a graduate student. By all accounts, you've done well in undergrad. You are a grad student. We look forward to this PhD that you're going to get in another 4 years. What did your public education mean to you?
Well, same as you. My experience with a great teacher happened early on in my education. It was my fourth grade teacher, and anybody who knows me, I tell this story all the time because without her, I would definitely not be here right now. She read to our class this book called Someone Named Neva, and it was a Holocaust survivor story. And I guess this was the first time in my life that I had been introduced to such, a social injustice, and I was just really interested in learning about more, and it kind of spiraled me down this path of history and just enjoying these multicultural stories. I loved reading about the underdog. That was my favorite part growing up, and without her, I'm sure this probably was a meaningless act for her. This was probably on the Battle of the Books one year and she just read it, but for me it really inspired me to be the person who I am today, and it guided me to what I wanted to study as well.
Fantastic. Woo! Fantastic. Good job. Nevaeh, did I say it right?
Yes.
All right. Nevaeh wants to be a lawyer, and you're in 10th grade.
Yes.
So you are the young person on the dais here. So tell us a little bit about an experience that you've had, or a teacher, or...
I feel like a teacher that I just have to give a big shout out to is Miss Spate from Boone High School. I had her for English honors of last year, and it was kind of a weird situation because I always feel like, I was good at English, so I wasn't really worried or anything. But I never had a teacher beat so much discipline in me. And she did it with such, and no, I'm serious, she got down, I'm telling you, she was a very, very, very scary woman. I'm serious, yeah, 5'5" in all, I'm telling you. And it was every single day she would just get on me. And I used to think that she used to do it to see me fail, but she did it so I could raise my bar. And she did it. And she did it with so much humanity. That was the thing, because beyond being a student, she saw me as a person. She knew for everyone there were going to be those bad days where it wasn't as easy and it wasn't as simple, but she always gave me a chance. And she saw something that I didn't really think that I saw in myself. So when she brought that out in me, all those times that, she gave me a 0, all those times that I got an 80, all those times she gave me a tardy. Believe me, I'm on that now, and I just have to thank her and her dedication, truly.
Oh, man. There is a lawyer in there. Okay? There is a lawyer in there. Yes, it is. So listen, good job, you all. So I want to jump into some critical questions before we give you all an opportunity to kind of talk about some other statements. We have a teacher shortage in the state of Florida. It's a big teacher shortage. We have thousands of classrooms today that do not have a certified teacher. And have you had, I'm going to maybe take 3 of you for this question. You can just jump in if you want. If not, you can pass to the next question. But has that impacted you at all? Do you know, is it happening at your school? Or you guys are on social media, right? Most of us are on Facebook, right? Because we like to think that we're young. But most of y'all are on either Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok and all of that stuff. Some of us fake like we are, right? But you all are. Do young people talk about this at all? Is it something, and tell us a little bit, the rated G version of the discussion that y'all might be having on teacher shortage. Anybody? Why don't we take Hope first? Look like you have burnt, and then we'll take Nevaeh, and then we'll take one more after that if somebody wants.
Yeah, so I guess my first experience with a teacher shortage was in 8th grade. We were just coming back from COVID. That was obviously a very hard time. And for 3 weeks, I didn't have a geometry teacher. And luckily, Miss Zielinski, she used to be at Howard, now she's at Boone, she's awesome. She was an administrator, and she took Khan Academy lessons with us to teach us geometry, which was just, she did a phenomenal job, and I'm forever thankful for her support. That was just hard. After coming back from a year of virtual learning, and then having a teacher quit, and then having to get a new teacher, it was stressful. And I know now, even at Boone, we are missing an AP physics teacher, we missed an AP pre-calculus teacher, an AP statistics teacher, so many teachers, and these kids are now talking like, I'm gonna fail this class. Immediately, once that happens, their mindset just turns off, and it's unfortunate because I constantly hear, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, and as my AP research teacher taught me, once you have that mindset, it's kind of lights out, unfortunately.
Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Nevaeh?
Yes, I remember this happened last year actually with AP Human Geography, I remember we started off the year with an amazing teacher, like 2 days in, and we were already learning stuff. So it felt really disheartening when on the third day we found out that she actually had quit. And I just felt like, in reality, I feel like a lot of teachers may not view it as this, but a lot of students are actually really excited for the class. Like, I know for myself, I was actually really excited. And sometimes it's not, I don't ever hear someone who's like, oh my God, I'm taking AP Calculus. Like, it's not all the time that I hear someone saying that, but a lot of students do actually care. So when you don't see a teacher in that classroom, it's just like Hope said, it just gives you a reason to give up, because you can only do so much by yourself. And a lot of students don't have as much faith in themselves as they do in a teacher.
Wow, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And Marissa.
Cameron.
Yo, Cameron, I'm sorry. Cameron.
No, you're good. So I have two perspectives to it. I have this perspective of the substitute teacher, because I do sub in Leon County. So obviously as a sub, last year it was mainly subbing for teacher absences. So these teacher assignments we posted all the time. I was at one school, I'm not gonna name it, because I like the name and shame, I'm not gonna name it. And I was doing 4th grade long term. I'm in the class, the principal comes in, she dismisses me, to step out. And I go back in, I'm like, oh, what happened? And next kids were like, oh, the principal said you're not a real teacher and you're just here to babysit us. And I was offended, for one, because I am a teacher, future teacher. But two, the audacity she had to say that. But then I had to step back and think, I'm like, you know what, she is right. I'm not a teacher, and it's honestly not fair to the kids to have these missing teachers. They're not really learning anything, you just have subs sitting there. I don't want to say babysit, but having subs sitting there and just not really give any content. So these kids are just going through the day, sitting 8 hours in school, learning nothing, and I don't think that's fair to them. And then on the college side, if you went to FAMU, I don't know about other colleges, but they beat into you, take the GK, and get certified. I think all teachers should be certified and qualified. If you're not, there's nothing wrong with that. But I did take my GKs, but I have a lot of peers at my school who, we have the teacher shortages. They're saying they don't really need to take it because they're gonna get hired anyway, there's teacher shortages. But I'm like, you should take that because, one, you don't wanna just be picked because there's a shortage. You wanna be able to be qualified, certified, and be prepared to go into a school and not just be picked because you have a degree. You should, if you're trying to be a teacher, take those steps to be the best teacher you can be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me just take a minute to reiterate that Carol and Andrew and Nandi wanted to make sure that we did not script these young folks, right? They wanted to make sure that we'd never heard answers that they were going to give and that they would come up here and tell the truth about what we're doing. So I just want you all to know that these issues are directly impacting these young people as they are articulating it tonight. And that's what's important, because we have to listen to the answers within that. So I'm going to get a little bit deeper with my next question, because we live in the state of Florida, which is a great state, great people, we have good weather, but we are and I use we loosely, but we are closing libraries, we are banning books, we are sending a chilling effect to our teachers about teaching certain things. Has any of that affected any of you as it relates to libraries, librarians, books that you read, the book bans? Have you heard about that? Is it conversation that happens within young people? And I see Caden is burning to get into this question. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm not a typical student. I have two dads who love me and adore me and have supported me through my
Where two
process.
dads? Where two dads? Where?
Yeah, right
stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up. Yeah, thank you for that.
And I love them with all my heart, but when this law came out, I was actually going to a band concert, and I was taking AP Psychology online, and I got the call, or I got an email from my teacher that was saying that I'm not going to be able to finish AP Psychology because of some of the curriculum that they talk about, like sexual orientation, for example. I was exactly on that unit, 8.4 exactly, when they told me I can't finish it anymore and can't get any college credit for it. I was very sad, but my dad talked me through it, and eventually they let me finish it because I was there. But they banned it for other kids, and I just feel so bad for them because knowledge is power, as we know. And yes, thank you. And it's just really sad to see kids like me who are multiracial and have two dads and really want to learn and have the willpower to learn and make an impact in their community and in the world, but we're stripped because of a specific viewpoint that we can't teach the future, which is students and kids about real world issues. I mean, it's just disheartening, but that has impacted me, and I feel like I'm just really targeted and stripped from, I guess, power that I could acquire myself with. But I learned to go around with it, of course, and do my own with it, but not being able to access it through a community or an environment with other students like the panelists here, it's just kind of sad. And we can't really say it in school either because they don't like it, but that's just how I feel. But I hope it will change. But thank you very much.
I just want to say, too, I'm also biracial, so I am not in high school right now, but I was in high school during the 2016 presidential election, and I definitely felt a change when that happened. I felt like I didn't really have a voice anymore. My best friend is black, and every week at lunch we would talk about like the racist comments that we would hear every single day, whether it would be about immigrants or black people. And just being in a predominantly white charter school, it was very hard. And so coming to college, I wanted to experience, a more diverse environment. I wanted to feel supported. One of the first programs I ended up doing was actually a DEI program at FGCU, which is also a predominantly white institution. And they taught us about things like inclusivity and social justice. And I eventually came to UCF, and my first year of graduate studies, they did DEI bans on campus. And I'm studying Jim Crow and the Civil Rights Movement, and they're banning critical race theory and gender theory and things like this. And I remember talking to my professor, Dr. Casanello, who's here, and I was so, I was so fearful. I was really scared because, I'm an adult. I chose to come to this college for a reason. I chose to be in this program for a reason. And now the governor of Florida is telling me that I can't learn what I want to learn and what I pay to learn. It was really, really difficult. And so, this is happening on the college level. And so I can't imagine what it's like for you all at the high school level. I can't imagine your agency is being taken away from you, and it's really difficult. And at least at my public institution, this isn't really being talked about. It's behind closed doors. Like, are we afraid to lose our jobs? Are we afraid to lose funding for our public institutions because of DEI and things like that? Does this sound like a democracy to you all? Like, it doesn't really.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you. So, in the last few minutes that we have, I'm going to attempt to go even deeper with deeper subjects here. This is a bit of a speed round because I want to get a few more voices in. I'm going to start with you, Hope, and I'm going to talk about school safety, okay? And about 3 weeks ago, we all know what happened in Georgia at the high school there, and we know that Florida, unfortunately, is the home of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. And we know that life has changed. People my age have never had to deal with active shooter drills, right? And that is a way of life for most of our, public education students. Do you, one, feel safe? And two, what do we need to know as adults in the room from you? What's the talk that young people are having? Because a lot of times we hear it top down, we hear it elders down. We need to hear it bottom up as to how we can better serve and help you. How do you feel in school?
Yeah, so I love school. I just want to start with that, but I don't feel safe there. When I go to school, the only thing I should be worried about is my calculus test 6th period and turning in my homework and talking to my teachers and becoming a well-informed citizen. I shouldn't be scared that someone might come in with a gun. And someone at Boone High School last Friday brought a gun to school. Law enforcement did a great job, and no one was harmed, thankfully. This happened this year. This happened last year. We were on hold. And now there are rumors spreading. There's now a weapons screening at the football game tonight. What? It's frustrating, and it feels like Florida legislature is doing everything but addressing the main problem.
Let me go to Samara.
I also wanted to reiterate everything she just said because I completely agree. But the other day, my brother and I, we were walking into the school and we were just having a conversation talking about what we would do in that sort of situation. I should not be talking to my brother who was 15 years old about what would happen, where would he go, why would he run away, and what his plan would be. I should be focused on theater. I should be focused on my stats quiz next period. I should not be worried about whether I live or die in an environment where I'm supposed to be learning. I also wanted to say that I know in some schools in OCPS and Osceola, my friend, they have metal detectors now in their schools, and in Freedom High School, we don't have them just yet. I know we will get them soon. And we also changed our policy within entering and exiting from certain spaces, and I completely agree with the reason why we have it for safety, but at the same time it gets trickled down and some of the teachers don't know what they're supposed to do. I stay after school all the time. The doors are supposed to be locked completely. It is an inconvenience for every single person who stays after school, specifically in high school. I know a lot of us do a lot of extracurricular activities, and when we're locked out of our classroom, we're late to class. We are late to rehearsal. We are late to practice because of the law that was put in place. And I agree with it, but it is sad to say that me, as a almost 18-year-old, I'm supposed to be learning about what I'm supposed to be doing. When I turn 18, I'm supposed to be changing the world, which I want to do, but I have to worry about if I'm gonna get to class on time because the door is locked, because I'm scared somebody's gonna come into my school.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm gonna let Brady get in. Kaden, I'm gonna let you get in shortly. So let's take Brady, and then we'll let you in with this segment, and then we're gonna push on, okay?
Yes, and I completely want to reiterate your 2 points. One, I've been doing school shooting drills since I've been in pre-K, which is absurd to hear. At our schools, we should be feeling safe. And when politicians or people who have this authority are instead sending their thoughts and prayers and leaving out the part where it's action, that's when I get riled up, you know? And then we see so much in our schools when we're doing these locked doors that are truly just an inconvenience to our students and teachers. While they do probably make me more safe, and those screenings that Boone High School did last year, I just don't think that it's the most rational decision that we can be doing as a society. I think it's a systemic issue. Why are students feeling this way, that they should be bringing a weapon onto school and other people in our community? Why are they being brought to this point? And why has there not been restrictions on, or gun reforms, so that we do not have to fear for our own lives at schools? So, thank you.
Thank you. Last comment on this question. Yes, sir, Kaden.
Actually, my second day of 9th grade, we had a student bring a pistol into school, and he had it for 3 periods, and exactly in my hallway, we had to have admin and the principal come and escort him and arrest him, of course. That really did shock me, and it made me second think if I should really go to the high school I attend now, Lake Buena Vista High School, or go online where I feel safe in my own home. That is a real problem, as we know school is a place where everyone is accepted, where we learn, where we prepare ourselves for future life and how we want to be and do our careers with each other. I mean, that's something that we shouldn't worry about. And like with the locked door situation that we have now, my school has that. We implemented that a couple weeks ago, but I racked up so many tardies because there's not enough admin for the teacher shortage to stay there and literally sit there and open the door for every student that walks there and monitor them. That just is not convenient for teachers nor students, which is why I think we should maybe implement an ID system with student IDs where we can log in and we can monitor student activity. But at the same time, that's going to be expensive, and we shouldn't really be worrying about money problems of safety at school when we should be safe in school. So this is really disheartening, but I think there should be something done.
Thank you. Yep, you can add. Absolutely.
And real quickly to what Caden said, I definitely do agree because I feel like something that a lot of people have not brought up and we haven't looked at is what about the students that are locked out? I know many students, especially myself during class time, when I go to the bathroom, it did come into my mind of where will I go? If there's an active shooter in a school, of course they can't get into the building, but what about us that are out? What about the administration? What about the janitors? What about the students? Those are lives too, and I feel like if we are going to have these regulations and these new laws, we have to look at the reality behind it. What about school time? I know so many kids, including myself, I'm spending over 10 minutes outside waiting for administration to come open the door because we just don't have enough people. What about the children with 504s or medical issues? How loud enough will we have to scream in order to get those kids help if they're locked out of the buildings? These things are just not thought about. And I feel like it's just completely irresponsible, and I understand the meaning behind it, but if we are going to have legislation like this, we do have to look at the dangerous aspects of it.
Thank you for that. So this part of the conversation completely breaks my heart. It completely breaks my heart as an educator, but more so as a dad, more so as a community member, because these are bright kids, and they can have this robust, comprehensive conversation about guns and how society is treating them in a school. And it's heartbreaking to hear this. As an educator, so many of our colleagues, bus drivers and paraprofessionals and security monitors and cafeteria workers and counselors and teachers have all been victims of senseless gun violence. Students, how many will it take? They're telling us what the deal is. They know the answers. I'm going to get off my soapbox because this is but it's completely heartbreaking to hear this conversation. It's honest and it's truth and it's what we need to give us fuel because we know what the value system is, because we know it's coming from you. So we're going to end our panel by a real speed round. Everybody has 1 minute. I want you to think critically, okay? I know you've heard that all your career. Think critically, right? Okay, so think critically about what 600 people, I don't know how many people are here, 700 people, need to hear from you. Give us 1 minute of something you want them to take back to their schools, their colleagues, their communities, their families. They've heard this from a young person who is growing and thriving in our public school systems, in our colleges and universities, and you all are the next leaders. What is it that you would leave all of these folks with in a 45-second to 1 minute soundbite? And we will start with Samira.
I would say forming connections with your students and being present within the teaching and not just playing a video. Forming connections really helps me, and I know it helps most of our students here. So forming connections with your students.
All right. Thank you for that.
I would say, as a student myself, of course teachers have a hard task, but I think that we all need to work together as we can create a future that is acceptable and is good for all of us, no matter your political party, your race, your gender, no matter any of that. I just think we need to form those, like Samara said, interpersonal and intrapersonal connections with each other so that we can, of course, hit the hammer on the nail with the problems we're dealing with, like gun violence and just prejudice today. It's just sad, but I think we need to be unified and just come together as people, not because of what we do or who we are. It's just as a human being.
I think one of the most special things about public schools is the diversity that we have and different perspectives, demographics that we can all listen to in our public schools. So when you're making your connections with students and listening to them, make sure that you're paying attention. They really do have some valuable insight into some really key issues, and they are our next generation. So whatever they're saying right now will be the future. So kind of just in preparation, listening to them and understanding different perspectives throughout political parties or different echo chambers that you may be in.
Thank you. Hope?
I just want to say thank you, teachers. You have one of the hardest jobs in the world, and you make it look effortless. Just keep empowering us. Keep telling us that we can do things. We can do hard things. We can face obstacles. I'm sitting on this stage today because my teachers told me I could. I believe in myself because my teachers believed in me. So please, please keep doing that. No matter how hard it gets, we value your support and we look up to you so, so much. So keep empowering us.
I just want to say I'm happy to be here. I started this organization, FEA, when I was a freshman. I'm now a junior. I'm going to be a teacher in like less than 2 years. And I can't wait. Well, I can't wait, but I can't wait. And I just want to say to you all out here, be nice to us coming in as future teachers. I've been to some field experiences, some mean teachers like, wow, you're a teacher? What? But be nice to us. We're trying, we're working. There's few of us, but I want us to all stay and keep this shortage low. It's gonna be there, but keep it lower. And yeah, vote yes on Amendment 4. Vote yes on Amendment 3. And I just saw this earlier, vote no on Amendment 1. Thank you.
I would really love to say I approve that message, but I cannot do that, okay? All right. Thank you very much. Yes.
I would say now more than ever, be supportive of your students of color and your LGBTQIA students. What is going on in the media, what they hear from politicians, these book bans, teachers having to censor themselves, like these are all affecting our consciousness one way or another. And I just want to ask you to, make sure that they know that they have a voice and that they matter in this world. Thank you. But thank you for being a teacher, most importantly. Thank you so much.
And my big comment has to be just lead with humanity and dignity, because I know you only get 40 minutes with us 5 days a week, but believe me, we are very much so human outside of this. And I promise you, please show who you are in the classroom and be who you are in the classroom, because not every student is going to understand that. But for the 1-2 people, it feels good to see that I'm learning from a human. I'm learning from a mother. I'm learning from a friend. I'm learning from a crafty person. I'm learning from someone who has something beyond, who they are. And are we?
No, go for it.
And
go for it. I think they're just giving you an amen corner.
Okay. And my last statement definitely has to be is, please keep on fighting, because the same fight that you are starting is something that someone else can end. So when you're teaching these books, when you're teaching these stories, when you're teaching these lessons, these are something that that you're starting, but believe me, we are gonna go on to use these stories, to use this power to motivate ourselves and to empower those around us. And yes, definitely vote. You have a voice. Beyond being a teacher, you're a person. Please remember that. Please vote. Please vote. Thank you.
Yeah. So, listen. Come on up. Y'all come behind here. Let's just come. Yeah, we're gonna. So, as we end this, I want y'all to keep clapping, keep standing, because these young people are super awesome. Super awesome. Super awesome. This is super awesome right here. So, Caden, right? So just a couple housekeeping things. Caden, my friend Caden, missed his high school halftime show tonight to be here with us, okay? All right?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, I know his dad is videotaping. What's your band director's name?
Mr. Emmert, Grady Emmert, and Bill Cunningham.
Mr. Emmert and Mr. Cunningham, I'm a former band director. Please excuse Caden tonight. You did a really good job. You did a really good job. And I know he had a hole in the line tonight, but he will be back to practice on Monday, okay? Thank you very much, okay? Listen, I don't know about you, but it gives me energy. Your president has said he's looking for power. We're trying to find power. This is power right here. This is power. I don't know about you, but when you can let kids teach you, show them that you have their backs, and be able to push their agenda, the things that they need. We are trying to prepare them for jobs that we don't even know will exist. And they have the answers. This tonight shows the courage of your leadership, because everybody in the country is not doing this. And the FEA, you all stand strong here in Florida. No matter what they tell you about voting, no matter how they try to divide you, no matter how they try to put us down, no matter how bad they try to take us out, we're going to stand here because our value system is bigger than any political ideologue out there, than any politician out there. So yes, you heard it all tonight. I'm going to end there. They're going to take a nice picture, but we can do better than that. One more time for a big round of applause for all of our students.